Jai Siya Ram, Sat Sri Akal, Adab. Friends, you're most welcome to this channel Twins Eye Sahitya Darshanam. Today I'm going to review a novel called The Bachelor of Arts, and I want to acquaint you with the troubles of a bachelor's life that R.K. Narayan has portrayed in this novel. This novel is published in 1937, which encompasses 18 chapters divided into 4 parts. This novel shows the troubles of Chandran, who is a young lad of 22 or 23 years old and who is in the final year of his bachelor's degree at Albert Mission College. Most of the novel, the half of the novel actually revolves around all his troubles, his development in his college as a student, as a secretary of the historical association of the college, or as a good orator, as a good organizer of the functions. And the most promising and turning point enters into the story when he falls in love with a girl called Malti. He saw her on the bank of a river playing with a very little girl, and he used to go frequently in order to watch her, but he never accumulated that power and strength to talk to her because he feels awkward when people in that surrounding started gazing him continuously. So he takes care of his honor and never disturb the girl. The situations that erupts in the life of Chandran is divisible into various kinds, or I can say it is based on varied grounds: personal, social, familial, and quite philosophical. Personal because his family, I would say the personal and familial tussles we find in this novel, which represents the old generation and the young generation's conflict that is still persisting in our society in 21st century, where parents want their kids to do according to their wishes and their aspirations, while snubbing the aims, ambitions, and aspirations of their own children. Same is the case with this bachelor, Chandran. He falls in love with a girl called Malti, and he is deeply in love with her. He is lost in thoughts of her, and he straightforwardly visits his parents and shares his feelings and wanted to marry this girl. But here enters the traditional foundations and the clutches that still pokes our conscience and creates disparity in our society, in our family, in our nation. The boy said, "I wish to marry this girl on the basis of her character and integrity." But on the other hand, totally reversely, I would say, their parents' stance, especially his mother's stance, firm and with full conviction on her stand that the marriage could take place only if the horoscope of both the boy and the girl matches, and the family of the girl approaches directly from their side and also offer a good amount of money in marriage that we know very well as the Dahej Pratha. But unfortunately this horoscope does not match, and his family is unable to understand the feeling and emotions of the boy. And when the family of the girl finds that the horoscope of the boy is not matching with their girl, they requested the family to avoid this marriage proposal, otherwise there is a chance of the death of their own daughter. Henceforth this marriage could not take place. Chandran got crestfallen, heartbroken, nonplussed with this situation, and he is unable to cope up with these emotions, the kind of volcano of emotion that erupts in his mind, that is teasing him, that is poking his conscience all the time, and he is unable to see anything in his surrounding because it impacts his psychology a lot. His family decided to send him to Madras, where he is supposed to meet his uncle, but when he reached there, he changed his route of life towards spirituality and purchased the saffron robes and shaved his head and became a monk. Enters into a village after traveling a lot in different towns, sometimes through vehicles, sometimes on foot, and sometimes he received food, water, milk from the society, but sometimes he has to sleep with his hunger, and that he bears willingly as an alternate to suicide. But finally, when he enters into a village where people treats him with love, affection, and he is treated as a noble being, a noble soul, like we treat everyone, even in modern times. If a sadhu who speaks with intellect, who is taking some kind of samadhi, so we treat him, we offer our reverence and all those positive reverberations to that spiritual being. But when he realizes that this is not good on his part, and on some grounds he is deceiving the innocent people of the village who are expecting some miracles to happen in their village because they are suffering from their own challenges of life, like drought and famine in their village. So they want to overcome from these ecological problems through the spiritual obeisance and all those I would say these innocent villagers expect their ecological problems to be overcome by the spiritual blessings of Chandra, who is unable to do that, and after realizing this, he returns back to his home. And this point is very important to highlight, that our Narayan has created that conscious power in the mind of a character which never enables him to pursue the wrong path in his life. We have seen in the life of Swami and then our Swami friends that a small boy out of fear left his home, but he also came back to home after thinking a lot. So that positive consciousness is always there in the minds of the character. And similarly, after wandering for months and experiencing this divine revelation, he decided to go back to his home because he learned. And this also shows that the path of spirituality is not so easy. You may find some times in your life that you are just drenched in the pool of sorrow and there is no way out, and you think that yes, spirituality is only the way ahead now because there is no one to love you, there is no one to carry you. But this is not the case. At the end of this novel, we came to know in the case of Chandran that he is cured with the same feeling and emotions of love once again, that he turns ahead once. He thought that the love for which he aspires and desires excessively, extremely with passion, loyalty, dedication, devotion, that has turned away his own emotions and suppressed and crushes his feelings. And he left away this worldly world. But finally he came back once again to fulfill his obligations towards his parents, his father, his mother. And what is most promising and very significant in this novel that comes up in this story is the role of a father in the life of a son. Chandran father's. His caricature is projected by R.K. Narayan in such a fantabulous manner, which is very significant for us to evolve as a society, because his father never objects his son. He always allows him to do what he likes in his life. When Chandran says that he wants to read after doing his bachelor's, his father never ever had a discussion with his son that yes, you should do something. His father never stops him when he decides to go to England to study further for a doctorate and then come back and have some good job in education. But suddenly Chandran decides to do not go to England and start some business in newspaper and owns a news agency, the Daily Messenger in Mulberry. The father is not showing his reluctance to any of his decisions, and for this point I would like to share a dialogue from his mind and his character, that how good he is as a father. This is the dialogue when he as a father is discussing with one of his friends regarding his son's choice to initiate a news agency, a newspaper in Mulberry. He says, I quote, seems to be more keen on this. I don't know, that boy gets a new notion every day. But I don't like to stand in his way. If it is really a sound proposition. Unquote. Just see the kind of care, love Chandran's father keeps in his heart for his son. He never wanted to be in front of the path of success or in any decision that his son makes. He did not want to appear as a hindrance in his path. He's always there as a support system. Always, whenever, even when he returns from his monastic experiences or the spiritual experiences of life, his father was very much worried about him, but he never showed that feelings before him, and he just accepted him that okay, if you are back now, let's start a new life and think something positive. most important.